Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Tips for a Pod. If you are just tuning in, please like and subscribe to the channel so you can see new videos as soon as they come out. I took a break from making more YouTube long form content and now I'm back mainly because I just got approved into the YouTube partner program. So that was the final nudge I needed to get back into it and start creating more videos for YouTube again. I have been posting short form videos that I repurpose from what I make for Instagram. Now I'm back to creating long form content. It's been a while that I posted the complete walkthrough of Microsoft Fabric. There is now mirroring feature available in Microsoft Fabric for a while now. I already had the demo environment created for it, but I never got around to shooting a video. So now that I am in the YouTube partner program, I thought I will use that and shoot a video, and that can be the next video that I create. I hope you like it. It's not going to be a complete walkthrough like my other videos. It's going to be a specific feature in Microsoft Fabric. If you don't know what Microsoft Fabric is, you can go back to reviewing my other video on the Microsoft Fabric complete walkthrough. And in this video, I'm particularly going to talk about the mirroring feature in Microsoft Fabric. Okay, so what is mirroring in Microsoft Fabric? Mirroring in Fabric allows you to take a database. For example, in this slide, it's showing Azure SQL. So you take the database and you set up a connection to it for mirroring. When you do, Fabric uses the transactional replication features of the database. So any data that gets inserted or updated, Fabric in real time gets that transaction and also writes it to the mirror database. So first time you connect, it's going to just query everything and import the whole thing into the mirror database. Beyond that point, if you keep the replication on, any transaction that happens on the database will also be returned to the mirror database. So your mirror database becomes a real-time living replica of your original database. And this mirror database lives in Fabric in one lake in the Delta Parquet format. So it's a lakehouse table, right? So being in Delta Parquet format means that you can use the SQL endpoint to run SQL query and connect it to Power BI, and you can also do advanced analytics using Python, right? So Microsoft Fabric mirroring is currently available for Azure Cosmos DB, Azure SQL, Snowflake, and more to come soon. The benefit of mirroring is that you don't need ETL. You don't need to set up anything to do that data replication, right? The whole configuration is just there in Fabric. You just need to provide connection string within Fabric to the database that you're trying to mirror. So beyond any other setup or additional provisioning, there is no additional compute or storage required because it uses your existing Fabric capacity that you have already purchased. The same compute and storage is used for your mirror database, so there is no additional provisioning required, so there is no additional cost involved. It reduces load on your operational databases because now you have a mirror database and you're running all of your analytics off of this mirror database. Your original operational database is now free to serve your transactional application, so there is less load on it, so it performs better. It also gives you more flexibility on analytics because the data is now in Delta Parquet format, so you can do regular SQL analytics using SQL endpoint as well as do advanced analytics using Python and Spark using the Delta Parquet file. So first, I'm going to show the mirroring for Cosmos DB. Now, I have created a Cosmos DB here. I created a brand new database, and in that I created a database called %DB, and it has just 2 records that I just manually inserted, right? The thing about mirroring is that Cosmos DB comes with some sample databases, but the mirroring only works on the databases that you create, not on any system databases or sample databases that the database might come with. So that's why I created this new database, and then I set up replication. So if I go into my Fabric, You can see I have already mirrored, but I just want to show you how the mirroring setup works. So the mirroring is part of the warehouse. So you can see under warehouse, you have Azure SQL mirroring, Snowflake, and Cosmos DB. So if you click on Cosmos DB, it will ask you, if you select this, it will ask you for your Cosmos DB endpoint connection, and then you click connect, and then it will connect to your Cosmos DB. So it asks for your endpoint, which you can get from your Cosmos DB overview page, right? Or in my case, I have already created it. So if I select this, once you connect, then it asks you to select the database that you want to replicate. Now it's taking some time to load, but in my case, I have the person DB that I select, and then I connect, and that starts the replication. Now I have already done this replication, so I can just show you. If I go to space, you can. Okay, so this is a lakehouse that was created because of the replication. So when you create replication, it says, start replication. When you say start replication, it uses the connection to start the replication. You can, after the replication starts, you can stop it. You can also monitor the replication. It tells you that, okay, this database is running, right? The mirroring is happening. You can stop the replication because, I'm not writing to the database right now, and I don't want to incur any cost. So I just stop it. And if I go into the SQL Analytics endpoint, I can see that my person DB is now available here as a Delta table, right? My SQL endpoint table is available. I can run a query on it, and it makes it look like a regular SQL query on a lakehouse table. Now I haven't run it for a while, so this query is taking some time. Okay, now my query has stopped running. So you can see if I click on person DB, it shows my table, and my query also returns the result showing the data from my table in a tabular format. Now, similar to Cosmos DB, you can also create mirroring for Azure SQL database. Now, SQL again works the same way. So if I go back to, just like I have a Cosmos DB, I have created a SQL database also, and within my SQL, I have created a similar table. So if I go to my query editor and log in, you can see there is a person table here, and I can, if I select, you can see there are only two records here. So similar to Cosmos DB, I can go and create a mirrored SQL database, and since I have already connected, I will select this and say connect. Okay, or since I have already done this, I can show you that I have already replicated that database, and say this is my SQL DB mirror, and with the SQL Analytics endpoint, I can see my person table. I can go back to the mirror database, and you can see that I stop the replication, and if I go to configure replication, I can see the connection that I have made. Right, so I'm connected to Azure SQL DB. I'm connected to this table. Okay. Now, same thing with Snowflake. So I have created a Snowflake account here. So I went to the project and created this tasty bytes sample data using one of the script that's available in the project. Right. So if I go to this project, you can see there is this load sample data from S3 bucket. So I just ran that to create this database. And similar to SQL and Cosmos DB, if I go to create a Snowflake mirror, it will ask me for my Snowflake credential, right? By the way, for Snowflake, it's a little hard to kind of find the credential. I had to kind of dig a little, do some research to figure that out. So I just want to share that where the connection lives. So you have to go into your accounts under admin, and you have to look at your account and hover over your account, and that's where you get the URL that you can put here. So when you go into your Snowflake, it asks for server, so you have to put that name here. And in Snowflake you have the warehouse information. You have a compute for your warehouse, and you have to specify that. Okay? For example, let me see. Yeah, so you have to go into admin and warehouses to see the warehouse name, and that's what you put here, right? So those are the two things you need to connect besides your username, password, and then you're connected to your Snowflake. Now I do have the Snowflake already connected. So if you go into one of my existing Snowflake connection, you can see that it asks for the database that you need to select. So I created this tasty bytes database, right? So that's what I am mirroring. Okay, so you can see it allows you to mirror the original Snowflake as well as the tasty bytes database that I created. So this is the one I used to mirror. Now if I go back to my Snowflake mirror, here it is, and I can select my SQL Analytics endpoint, and I can see my table from Snowflake. That if I go to this, I can see this is the table in it, and I can see there is a menu table here, and I can run a query on it. Yeah, so if I go in my data, I can see that this is the database I created. Under that, I can see the table, and I can do a data preview to see all the data. Okay, so or I can go to home and create a query. For example, here I have already selected the database and did a select star from menu, and I can see all the data, right? The same thing, I can see that the table that I replicated here, which is my row._POS, same thing is replicated here, and I can see all the data in my Delta table with SQL Analytics endpoint. So that covers the mirroring feature in Fabric for Cosmos DB, Azure SQL, and Snowflake. Please put your comment and let me know if mirroring is working for you. What are you using it for? If you are having any issues, what are some of the issues you are having, and what other challenges you are having that you would like me to create video on, and I will take your suggestion and create video on that. I also now have membership plans. If you join as a member, I will invite you to private group where we can discuss strategies for future video creation, things like that. Just support this effort. Creating these videos do cost time and money, so if your support is appreciated.